The Mask of Bakris is criminally underrated. Light shifting shotgunning hunters may be the bane of your PvP existence, but what if I told you that especially in this season there was a way to make it one of the, if not the highest solo DPS monsters? It's super easy to set up and massively effective at deleting bosses. Light shift is the exotic perk which will convert your dodge into a longer range shift which partially cloaks you. This is great and it's the reason it's so popular in the Crucible. However, after shifting you can set up multiple stacking damage buffs and debuffs which greatly affect damage output in PvE. On shifting you gain a 10% buff to arc weapons, but if you also freeze or slow a target and then use arc weapons too, you'll get a 20% damage buff for 10 seconds. The next part of this damage buff puzzle though is to use the Whisper of Hedron's fragment. This will give us a further 25% damage boost after freezing a target. This boost, which stacks with Bakris, counts for all combatants, not just the ones you froze. Also, chuck in the Whisper of Torment for boosting grenade recharge, Whisper of Durance to increase the slow effect on enemies, and the Whisper of Impetus to reload store weapons too on a charged melee hit. Grim Harvest will help recharge your abilities after defeating slowed or frozen enemies by creating stasis shards, and the Cold Snap Grenade will allow us to consistently freeze targets with relative ease too, and is significantly boosted by the new Touch of Winter aspect. The Withering Blade melee will also freeze targets on just 2 hits, and the recent PvP nerfs don't affect it in PvE, so make sure to have Gambler's Dodge selected so the Bakris shift will return melee charges when nearby to enemies. Breach and Clear is this season's new top tier artifact mod, and ultimately it acts as a debuff so it works alongside and stacks with the Bakris and Hedron's damage buffs. Damaging a boss, a champion or breaking a shield will reload your stored weapons and cause the combatant to take increased damage for a short time. This shows as a damage boost on screen, and with Hedron's active it will show a ×2 stack for this icon in the tooltip. Now there's no better grenade launcher in the game right now than Anarchy. It's still absolutely god tier in PvE for just about any and every boss, thanks to its Arc Traps perk. Just 2 taps of Anarchy on any boss will cause the maximum damage over time for this. With this setup though, it will instantly trigger Breach and Clear, activating a purple hue over the enemy. The final part of this puzzle is any Arc Energy special weapon to cause maximum DPS. The first in last out slug shotgun, Salvager's salvo grenade launcher and the new occluded finality sniper rifle, all with a Vorpal weapon roll, are just going to crank up your overall DPS in this build and are ultimately the icing on the cake for any boss encounter. It's as easy as pie to set up on any boss or champion for instant deletion. You simply need to first freeze the target with your abilities, which will trigger the Whisper of Hedron's buff. Then use your Light Shift Bakris dodge to activate the Light Shift arc damage buff, and then ping 2 Anarchy arc traps on your target, applying the Breach and Clear debuff along with the damage over time effect from Anarchy. And finally switch to your Arc Energy Vorpal weapon of choice depending on the encounter and go to town. You only get a short window to inflict the maximum amount of damage with 10 seconds at the most, making it ideal for maximum burst DPS situations, but with it being so incredibly easy to set up, you can effectively use this on anything as long as you have your abilities recharged and ammo in your weapons. Gambler's Dodge and the Torment fragment will make sure of that for your grenade and melee, and you can also use the Grenade Scavenger mod from the seasonal artifact to keep your Anarchy topped up as much as possible. It's truly insane, and I literally never hear anybody talk about this one at all, let alone this season where you don't even have to rely on anybody else but yourself for the debuff which maxes this build out in any other season without this mod. That's the strongest hunter build I can think of this season outside of the new exotic Star Eater scales, so if you enjoyed it and are going to give it a go, give this video a like below. We're aiming for 27,000 likes on this one. It's not a huge ask to be honest, but I know you can do it. We're also edging closer to the magic 69,000 subs, which is very nice. That's it for this one though, so on that and as always, thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you next time.